Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This episode of Conversation Street has been brought to you by Tesco. For when you want horse meat, in your burgers, you go to Tesco.
Tesco, home of the cheap Easter eggs at the
I was about to
moment.
say, if you had said something like Raid Shadow Legends, I was gonna smack you for that.
Oh, speaking of raiding, this is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Click the link in the description below for free silver and a free epic champion. Let's see bullet points. No, we're not.
And enjoy the most boring app in the world. I'm sorry, I had to put that out there.
It's a Western gacha game. It's gonna be boring. It's just a gacha game.
No, like okay, I was intrigued for a little while, and then I finally downloaded it because at the time I was still thinking about revamping my mobile app reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I played it for like 2 days, and then I took it off immediately, and I was just like, "This is the most boring game in the world, and the story makes no absolute sense."
Oh, how I'm not gonna lie. If Raid Shadow Legends offers $10,000 for me to make a sponsorship for a video, you bet your fucking ass I'm taking that $10,000 and I'm selling out immediately.
No,
Have you seen the figures that they have done with the sponsorships? It's either from like over $100 to $10,000, depending.
They'll give you depending on how well known or popular you are, the more they'll offer you in sponsorships. Because they'll here's $250 for doing it. But there was a dude who posted on Twitter that he was being offered like $7,400 to do a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, and I'm questioning why you don't take that, because that is I would sell out for $10,000. Honestly.
This episode of Conversation Street is sponsored by Azure Man.
Oh wait, what was that new one? Arknights?
Okay. I can understand like some apps doing sponsorships just to get the word out there, but Raid Shadow Legends is infamous for like doing this for I don't know how long, like over a year.
No, it's only been like it hasn't been as long as you think. It's just the fact of that they just give you a bullet point list of exactly what to say, and that's it. Then you get paid. That's it. There's nothing much to it. It's just a sponsorship for a mobile game. It's nothing new, because there are plenty of channels that still do. Or there's still plenty of people that still do. Like, honestly, I think what's more weird to listen to is whenever you listen to a podcast that's like has a super serious tone, but then does a commercial break, and it's for the interactive photo frame. Here's a photo frame that constantly updates whenever you upload pictures to a cloud service that you're never going to use. Like
this episode of Conversation Street is sponsored by pies. Because I eat pies.
Pies? What kind? We
Pies.
don't even know.
All kinds.
The best horse pies made from Tesco.
Yes. Oh man, Tesco. Tesco.
I should not make fun of Tesco because I do my show now.
That's fine. It's alright. It doesn't matter. I make fun of Walmart. I make fun of Walmart and I shop there.
Everybody makes fun of Walmart sometimes.
There's literally a fucking subreddit dedicated to the weird people you find at Walmart. So, it doesn't matter.
Because I need you to do me a thing once you've uploaded the war of our commentary. I need you to save it as part 18. This episode is sponsored by, because I need to remember that so I can make it the title of the episode.
I will make sure I do that.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the most hilarious thing in the world if you think of it, because sponsorships are good for people to have some sort of income coming in, but there are just some I'm just like, why?
I mean, I don't give a shit if you're sponsored or not. You got to make money, but like, a lot of sponsorships. Honestly, from what I've understand, mobile games are usually your best bet, because they're willing to spend a lot more money than a lot of other brands are, because Or at least depending, and it all is. It's all literally 100% based on your clout.
This episode of Conversation Street is sponsored by Disney Plus.
Oh, Disney Plus! Oh, dude, a free year of Disney Plus. Still not available in the UK.
Oh, we're getting at the end of this month.
Oh.
600 episodes of
Of The Simpsons.
600.
And also the entire season of The Mandalorian.
In bits. We're not getting it all in the one, we're getting it in bits.
Oh, so it's like what happened to us when we got the English dub of fucking Little Witch Academia. They split it up into 2 separate parts across 6 months. Actually, they did the same thing with BoJack Horseman with the final season. They gave us 2 halves of a final season, which sucks. Still got a good conclusion though. But we still had to wait like the beginning of this year to get the ending of BoJack Horseman. But yeah.
Speaking of hilarious things that happen, the UK kind of complained about being behind on Rick and Morty.
Mm-hmm.
So they pushed the date of Rick and Morty back to like a week after American. I bet you they were regretting that now.
Why is that?
Well, it stopped after 5 episodes.
Right.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the most recent season of Rick and Morty was only 5 episodes long.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want. Oh, we got green gems now. Oh, the wind gemrons. I kept calling them gemrons, realizing, oh, that's a gem. That's a G.
Gem, not gem. Gum?
As
I don't think.
As I said last part, we'll be seeing a lot of those gemrons in different flavors.
You know what also makes it really sad? You know what also is really sad about Disney Plus right now, Hal? They basically they've been trying to write the show the Kenobi show, and they had to completely They had to completely they got rid of the entire script and sent the whole writing team home, thus putting Kenobi on indefinite hiatus.
Is it because of how bad it was written, or because of money?
They just didn't like the script. It's definitely not a money issue. It's just scripting. They just didn't like the script, and so the whole show is just on now in just this indefinite hiatus, and it sucks because I was looking forward to Kenobi.
But you know what, though? The fact that they were willing to... They said, we don't like the script, and axes... And basically everybody, it's just still funny to me.
Let's see. What other things can we be sponsored by? Let me look up on
Verve, NordVPN, ExpressVPN.
I haven't seen a Verve ad in a while.
I see it here and there, but they're not as advertised as much anymore, probably because of how popular it's gotten with word of mouth.
This has been sponsored by Funimation Now. For when you need to watch Yu Yu Hakusho because Funimation removed their entire fucking library from Verve so that they could have their own streaming service to pay money for. Funimation Now.
Technically because technically they kind of had their own subscription service. It was just not like previous, like now.
Well, no, what happened? Well, they did for a long time, and then Crunchyroll came out, and so they put together a joint effort to make a one big service between Crunchyroll and Funimation, and then that's when Verve started, and then just kind of out of nowhere, the contract ended between Funimation and Crunchyroll, and they didn't renew it. So yeah, all of Funimation stuff is now all subs and dubs and stuff the shows are just completely separated now. So you have to have several different subscription services to enjoy it, which sucks. Just what I hate about subscription services now, or streaming services in general.
It's like, I think it's also just a preference too. Do you like Netflix? Do you like Hulu? What do you like? But at the same time, it's like very meh.
This episode is sponsored by BritBox because, for fuck's sake, we pay enough of a license fee. Now we have to pay for the stuff that we've paid for with the license. Thank you very much, BBC. Okay, admittedly that one was just a bit of an annoyance from my end because I have no idea if you guys would ever get something like BritBox or whatever.
In America, we kind of have a BBC channel, but apparently, I've heard like, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but is the new Doctor Who good or bad?
Terrible.
It's good.
Not terrible. It's the recent episodes that have been not very good, apparently.
You can't. The new series has been fantastic.
I loved the first half. I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know. She like after the whole 2-year break, she just doesn't vibe with me now. I don't know. It's just something weird about the new season. Especially again since they took like what a 2-year break in between like seasons.
I don't like it when they take that long a break.
I don't either. That's why I think that's one of the reasons why I just didn't really like the new episodes, because it's like I waited 2 years for this, and oh well. I don't mind her. I actually really do like her as a doctor. Honestly, I prefer her over Peter Capaldi, but Capaldi was still good. It's just I prefer her over Capaldi, if that makes sense.
So basically, it's more of I think like a lot of it at the end of the day, it's like this new Doctor is kind of mixed because I've heard bad, I've heard good, I've heard I don't know.
She's not the worst Doctor. Hal can easily agree. She's not the worst Doctor.
I can totally agree that she is not the worst Doctor.
She doesn't have a buzz.
Who is the worst Doctor?
Forgot his name, but he had a fucking buzz cut and a leather jacket and only lasted 1 season.
Oh, I think it was
You do not dare miss Christopher Eccleston. not when Colin Baker exists.
Oh
You
yeah,
do
right,
not
Colin
miss
Baker.
Christopher Eccleston.
Oh right, Colin Baker. I genuinely forgot about Colin Baker. Oh my gosh.
we all try to forget Colin Baker.
Exactly. That's why I talk about. That's why I talk about the other guy over fucking Colin Baker. I just quickly looked up and realized, oh shit, that he did exist.
Yeah,
him and his Technicolor Dreamcoat did exist. It was not a fever dream.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. Okay.
Yeah, I think like my sister got into Doctor Who around the Matt era.
Matt Smith. Oh, I love Matt Smith.
He was great.
To be honest, I like David Tennant a little more.
Tennant, I like him. I like David Tennant too.
Yeah. Both were very, very good seasons.
They both knew how to deal with their own spin of the Doctor, which I really like.
Well, it's not even that; it's just the theming of each season. David Tennant's was like, "What if the Titanic was in space?" And
that's a good spin on it.
Also,
I am in hell.
Also, the fact of that literally almost all of his Also, I think David Tennant had like the most temporary companions of the entire of the crew of the cast. I believe so.
Yeah, I think he had like more companions than anyone combined, but they were he never really had like a permanent companion.
Yeah, there was that one woman. I forget her name. She was around the longest. She was also, I think, in. It was an episode that really wasn't about the Doctor. It was about the Weeping Angels.
Yeah.
I forgot her name though, but the Doctor wasn't involved much.
No.
I know who you're talking about, but I'm not saying her name because if I invoke her name, then that makes me angry because I hate that character.
Really? Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think she was around the longest too.
Yeah, I remember.
She who must not be named. It has.
Now, I do remember there was one companion that lasted the 2 doctors for a little bit. And she actually was pretty enjoyable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I still think my favorite. I still think my favorite Doctor companion overall is K9. Simply because he's a robot dog. And
Well,
robot dogs are cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that I've noticed with the Matt one was like they were trying to. They kind of made a story with no sense to me if you did not follow it, but at the same time, Matt was still very fun.
Mm-hmm. Matt Smith is just a good doctor in general.
Yeah, I think that's why. I think that's when the series kind of skyrocketed a bit, and then after he left, I think
Capaldi.
I made it nowhere to go.
Oh, Hal.
See, the thing is with Capaldi is he wasn't a bad doctor. He just had bad stories. That's the problem.
He also had a really weird start. From what I don't remember a lot of Capaldi's stuff as the problem, but I remember him having a really weird start to the series. After he regenerated from Matt Smith.
I think like he was probably getting his footing.
Oh, Hal, I have a question about this. How many shows have there been made of Doctor Who companions? Because I know there's the Sarah Jane Chronicles, but I don't know what else.
I'd say there's about 3 in total. There's K9 and Company in the 1980s.
Wait, they made a season all about K9?
No, they made one episode all about K9, and it bombed so badly they never did it again.
Okay.
Okay, so there's that, alright? Then there's the Sarah Jane Chronicles, as you mentioned. That lasted for 4 seasons, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Where she actually does make a one-off nod to K9, who's in another dimension, I think.
And the other spin-off involving a companion is Torchwood.
That's the other one. I remember my dad's also a big Who fan. He talked about he's told me about Torchwood. I've never seen Torchwood though.
I mean, Doctor Who is how old? Like 50 years? Over 50 now?
Oh God, it's been on since the 1960s in some form.
Yeah.
It's old.
It's really old. It's kind of like the Star Trek in the UK.
Mm-hmm. But oh man, yeah, Star Trek Next Generation was the best stuff though.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Speaking of, this episode of Conversation Street is sponsored by Picard.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, do you ever want to watch that? Is that any good?
It's actually pretty decent. I like it.
I would say, despite how old as fucking Patrick Stewart is now.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah. It seems like it'd be pretty good. Is it literally just more of the Next Generation, or is it?
It's kind of its own beast, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Because I've been genuinely curious on if Picard, what the hell Picard is about besides the obvious.
I mean, I heard it's actually interesting if you're a Star Trek fan. But for someone who couldn't even get into Star Wars, let alone Star Trek itself, it's one of those ones where I'm kind of interested, but I have a feeling I might need to know some more about Star Trek before even entering this.
Well, considering the fact that it's literally about Captain Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek The Next Generation all the way back from the 80s? Yeah.
And it also involves something else from Star Trek. I cannot spoil because it's a spoiler!
A massive spoiler.
A gigantic spoiler.
I've been wanting to watch it, but the problem is I don't have access to TV anymore because we didn't want cable when we moved out of my grandparents' house. So and I don't want to get CBS All Access because that's just a waste of money.
Is that the only way you can watch that show?
That's the only way you can stream it.
Not in the UK. You can watch it on Amazon Prime in the UK.
Oh, okay.
And this is where VPNs come in handy.
Which is also our 15th sponsor, NordVPN.
I love the fact that this started off as a joke, but now it's a conversation.
Yeah, basically. Which,
yeah.
So I just haven't had the ability to watch it simply because I don't have CBS All Access, and I don't want to get CBS All Access.
I think the only time I'm gonna get like Amazon Prime is when they start doing the Critical Role animation series that's coming out in the fall. It looks really interesting.
That is coming.
I don't even think I want to watch Critical Role because I can't keep up. It's an
origin story before the
campaign.
Yeah, before they started live streaming it, so you should be fine on that front.
I just can't.
I've been a huge fan.
I just couldn't.
For a little while.
I just couldn't get into Critical Role.
I have this weird fascination of listening to D&D campaigns, especially funny ones.
Oh yeah, there's some.
Right
Alright. There's some interesting D&D podcasts that I've listened to a couple episodes of, but honestly, I just don't have the patience to listen. Like I'm perfectly fine with listening to conversations and shit, and listening to stories of like characters, but I don't think I could just listen to a campaign happening. If that makes any sense. It's like I have a level of patience to like, oh, I can sit here and listen to Let's Fight a Boss, where it's literally just like it's just three good Irish friends, Irish animator friends, one of them being Super Eye Patch Wolf, talk about just video games and just media in general for like 2.5 hours. But I can't listen to I can't listen to a live D&D campaign.
I mean, 3 of the podcasts that I currently listen to are technically D&D campaigns.
Oh yeah, I think you've told me about one of them in the past. But no, I just listen to... I used to... I just don't have, like, the ability to listen to podcasts as much anymore because of my current job. I cannot listen to stuff during work, which sucks because that was the reason why I was getting into like so many like kinds of podcasts like a year ago, was because the job I had beforehand, I had a lot more leniency to just listen to whatever I wanted.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
I pretty much listen to podcasts when I'm playing video games and when I'm feeling tired and I need to go to sleep. I usually put podcasts on too.
Mm-hmm.
Not to imply that the podcasts are boring or anything, they just help me get to sleep.
Yeah. There was a brief period of time where I did nothing but listen to like true crime podcasts, and it was true crime and like let's read scary, like really creepy ass stories. I listened to those for a pretty brief period of time, but again I just had to stop because we like the job we had, we kind of didn't work. We kind of stopped working there because we real life stuff just don't have the job to do that anymore. I now have to. I can't wear headphones at work and it sucks. But yeah, that was the only time I ever listened to podcasts though, was just whenever I was at work, and I just had a lot more just like free time to do stuff, and that's actually how I played and beat World of Final Fantasy. When back in our LP of that, that's how I was able to beat that, was because I had so much time in between work sites that I just spent most of that playing like World of Final Fantasy.
Neat.
Mm-hmm. And Final Fantasy IX for that matter too.
Well, I could prefer Fantasy IX anytime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a full playthrough of it. It was awesome.
It's still one of my favourite Final Fantasies.
Yeah, same here. It's this and 10. 10 though, I have to be in a mood to like get down and just do everything because completionist.
Currently, my Final Fantasy tier list is pretty much 9 and 14 at the moment.
Yeah.
And I know that you've burnt out of 14, but the current story is just way too interesting.
I understand. My problem with what my problem now is I think I have genuinely retired from 14.
Oh look, plot's actually happening.
Oh fuck, plot's happening? Damn it, I was gonna get into that story. Oh well, can of worms for another day. Oh shit, we're close to the end of the. Damn it! Son of a bitch. I was getting to like a super deep story. Conversation Street over. Because plot's happening.
Conversation Street never dies. It just gets stronger and stronger.
I mean, it's fucking true though. Like, there was a point when in Dark Cloud 1 the moon was just Conversation Street because it was the moon.
I was almost so close to just. In fact, I think I might have listed every single episode of the moon as a Conversation Street episode.
It wouldn't surprise me if you did. Okay, and so hopefully in the next part, we may, and also 100%, we are not sponsored by. This was 100% a dumb joke that I came up with before recording.
And we just ran with it.
And we ran and ran and ran with it.